Hey everyone, this is Patricia with Silhouette Class for Beginners, Tea Party Printables, and Digital Files Mania. Today I'll be doing a video on hang tags. These hang tags can be used for weddings, baby showers, pretty much anything. You can put thank you on them. You can put your child's name on them. You can put something different as far as your wedding pictures. You can put whatever you choose to put on it, but I just wanted to show you the technique of these hang tags. When you get your template, which is a template that I created myself, it will look like this. And with that particular template, what I do is all I did was I duplicated it. And I wanted to have everything already in front of me instead of going back into my files and looking for different things. So I have the template in front of me. I duplicated this one. I'm going to be using Shimmer and Shine. I place my Shimmer and Shine over the ticket. Of course, the ticket is too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the width to see what size the width of the ticket is, and it's at 2.5. So I'm going to set my picture at 2.5. All I did was change the size. Now I'm going to line them back both up together so they're aligned perfectly. So now that they're aligned, all I'm going to do is let me make sure the bottom is also aligned. And so now that's aligned. It's pretty easy. I'm going to change the color on this template, which is here, that pink, and I'm going to bring in the color from the edge of this particular item. And so now it looks like it all blends together. And that's exactly what I wanted it to look like, it blended together. And you would think that it was just a whole picture, but it isn't. We just blended the top portion of it, which was blue across the top. And that's great whenever there's something that has the same color. You can pretty much just blend it in. So now we're going to take the shimmer and we're going to place the shimmer just above it. And if we want, we can take this and take just a little bit of it off. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it just a little bit, just to take a little bit of it off. And that's only so that I can bring the shimmer pretty much where I want it. And now I'm going to go back to it. And I'm going to go to align so we can align it back up. And now it's aligned again. We're going to bring shimmer down. And then I can type in a name. And I'm just going to use and I will put the S apostrophe S. We're going to change the font. We need to first add it to the dictionary. And then we're going to change the font. And I'm just going to use this one. We're going to weld, because anytime you have broken lines, it's going to print like those broken lines. So you want to make sure that you weld those broken lines together. Now I'm going to group it. And I'm going to take the color out of the shimmer for her name. And I need to change the line style. Same thing. I'm going to place it just above. Now, one thing you can also do is to give it a little more color. You can also do an offset on it. And I'm going to do an offset at 0.045. Click apply. I'm going to change my color. And we're just going to see what this gold looks like. I don't really care for the gold. And the size is actually too big as well. So we're going to change the size again. And we're not going to do 0.45. We're going to do a smaller size. 0.30. Enter. We're trying to get a good size on it. And apparently it keeps going to something different. I'm trying to put 0.30. Now I see it has 12. There it is. Now that should be correct. And we're just going to use white. We're not going to use a different color. We're going to use white. Okay, now that we have it together and everything looks perfect, we're going to group everything together. We're going to remove this one, place it on the top. Then I'm going to take each one of these to the top and delete them. And I'm going to duplicate this one 4 times. And we want to make sure all of them are the same size. So what we're going to do is click on it. And we're going to go to align to make sure it's all where it's supposed to be aligned at. There it is. So now we're going to align horizontally. We align vertically, now we're aligning horizontally. So everything is together. So now we want to delete these. And we're going to duplicate this one. And that saves so much time instead of you having to do all of them over. And we're going to do the same thing here. And what we're trying to do is get these two at the same make sure that they both are the same. And then we're going to click group. Now that they're grouped together, we're just grouping them for the purpose of centering them. That's the purpose of us grouping them. So now it's centered on the page. Now it's centered on the page. There are 2 ways to do this. If you are cutting with a silhouette, if you're cutting with the silhouette, and you need to do your registration marks, you will have to make it smaller. You're going to have to make your page smaller. Because everything goes over it and it's too big. So you would have to bring it down if you're cutting it with your silhouette. So everything would have to go a little bit smaller. so that it fits within the area it's supposed to fit. If you are not cutting it, and I'm going to go ahead on and print this so that I can try to cut it with my silhouette. So that would mean that your tags are going to be a little bit smaller. For me, I would not cut with my silhouette, but some people want to, and that's okay. But for me, it's faster if you just cut with a cutter. I have a cutter, so I use my cutter and I cut my lines with that cutter. I don't use anything else but that cutter. If it's circles, I have a circle cutter as well, and I also do the same thing with that. Because it saves much more time. Sometimes our silhouettes isn't cutting properly, so we have to resort to cutting by hand. And so that's the purpose of me using purchasing a cutter to be able to cut. But just for this video purpose, I'm just going to show you with actually cutting by silhouette. Sometimes it does not always work the way that it's supposed to. Of course, we all know we can spend hours trying to get silhouette to cut sometimes when we really need it. So we're just going to try, and if it does not work, it's okay. You guys get the picture. You pretty much understand it. So we're just going to try it anyway. And so we're going to go to send. And remember, it's going to make your item smaller. So just remember, it's going to be smaller. Your items are going to be smaller. So if you are using your silhouette to cut, it will be a lot smaller. So just keep that in mind, your tags. And if you don't mind the smaller tags, then it's not a problem. But if you want something that's bigger, then you're going to have to cut by hand. And if you're trying to save time, then you also need to cut by hand. So we're going to go ahead on. I've already placed it on the mat. And we're going to go ahead on. We're going to set it up. And I have cardstock, cut, plain. Okay. And then I'm not going to test it. I'm just going to send it to print, to cut. Send. And it was registering the registration marks. That's basically what it was doing. And it is not cutting properly. And I noticed that right on, it didn't cut properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my design, and I'm going to take off the I'm going to take this off. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to print it again. We're going to print it again and see what happens. We're just going to do another print. We got to set up the registration marks again. Oh, now I know why, because I have it on. Okay, Cameo and portrait. We're just going to bring it down just a little bit. We're going to go to File. We're going to print it one more time. And if it does not work this time, then I will not try again. I won't print and try it again. I just wanted to show you guys how it actually worked. But if it doesn't print, if it does not print this time, I won't be trying it again. We'll just go with what we have, which is one of the reasons why I always cut by hand. When it comes to anything that is square and I can use my cutter, I just do that by hand instead of using silhouette, because sometimes it does not always cut where it's supposed to cut. Okay. So we're going to try it one more time. If it does not work, we won't keep trying. We're just going to stop. And it isn't. And so we're just gonna let it finish what it's doing. We won't go back and try. We won't go back and try again. You would just cut it with your hand, and as you can see, it is. This is what it looks like. So we would just cut it by hand, and I always use a circle cutter also to cut out those little dots there, and all you have to do after that is just place your ribbon and attach it to your item. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask questions. Don't forget to join the groups. I also have, if you're interested, I also have items that I sell, which are here, the Tea Party prints. Please do not hesitate. If there is anything that you need that I can help you with, please don't hesitate at all. Thank you for watching. I'll also have more videos coming up, so please take some time, look at my videos, tell me what you think, give me feedback, and I greatly appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful day.